My roommate Jason and I have been sworn enemies since freshman year. During a class dinner party, I got drunk and decided to mess with him by publicly confessing my feelings with a shit-eating grin in front of everyone. To my horror, he actually agreed, then grabbed the back of my head and planted a full-on dominant kiss on my lips. Holy hell, since when was this guy not straight? The next morning, I shot up in bed like a carp leaping from frying pan, cold sweat dripping down my spine. What the actual fuck is wrong with Jason? I hissed, only for my bed curtain to slap across my face like a scorned lover's retaliation. As I tried convincing myself it had all been a nightmare, my foot slipped on the ladder. Shit, I crashed straight into a wall of warm, sweat-slicked muscle. Jason had just returned from his morning run, peeling off his drenched tank to reveal glistening abs that rippled with each breath. His hands found purchase on my waist and ass with alarming precision. Couldn't wait to throw yourself into your boyfriend's arms first thing in the morning? His whiskey-smooth chuckle ghosted over my ear. I recoiled like touched lava, palms burning from where they'd been splayed against his pecs. Boyfriend, my ass. Keep dreaming. You delusional, scrambling into flip-flops. I swatted away his lingering hands and put 3 lockers worth of distance between us. I was blackout drunk last night. Whatever happened is null and void. Got it. Jason's smile froze. You're really going to pretend it never happened? Backing toward the bathroom, I blustered louder, got proof. You can't just go around slandering people's reputations. I'm a red-blooded straight guy. The ominous click of a phone unlocking stopped me cold. My drunken face filled the screen, flushed, staggering, and slinging an arm around Jason's neck during truth or dare. Jason Miller. Past me, bellowed to our cheering classmates. You got the balls to date another dude? The video showed Jason calmly offering me water. You're wasted. Drink this. Cut the crap. I'd shoved his hand, splashing tea across his new joggers. Think you're too good for me? What's your fucking problem with me anyway? Our classmates tensed as Jason quietly studied the tea leaves staining his knees. You've misunderstood, he finally said. I've always thought highly of you. If I ever made you feel otherwise, I apologize. But drunk, Ethan wasn't having it. That's it. I'd lunged forward again, nose inches from his. You think some half-assed apology fixes everything? The recording ended with Jason's gaze darkening, the exact moment before he'd kissed me senseless. He sat while I stood, towering over Jason. I gripped his chin with a playboy smirk. Not bad looking. How about this? Let me kiss you, and I'll forgive everything. Jason arched an eyebrow in surprise. Our 2 roommates intervened, hauling me back. Ethan, stop making a drunken scene. This is embarrassing. Alcohol had dissolved my limited reasoning. I shook them off. Embarrassing? I'm a campus heartthrob topping the confession wall. Kissing me would be his privilege. I glared down at Jason. Got a problem with that? Jason chuckled softly, his gaze lingering mockingly on my lips. I only do this with my significant other. You sure about this? I snorted. Dating. Please. Whoever chickens out is a coward. Hold us my witness. I was blackout drunk. But Jason took it seriously. He shot up from his chair, suddenly half head taller. Fine. I accept your confession. Before I could retort, his palm cupped the back of my head as he leaned down. My rival's face filled my vision, eyelashes brushing my lids. Every curse died in my throat. I buried my face in my hands. Jason cheerfully pocketed his phone. Speechless now. Boyfriend? I slid along the wall into the bathroom. Need space. Locking the door, I splashed icy water on my face to suppress the scream building in my chest. Mortifying. Since when did I become my own worst enemy? Though his lips were surprisingly soft. Wait, why did he kiss me? In front of everyone. But damn, he's good at stop it. The bathroom door creaked open. Taking so long, Afraid the toilet will swallow you? Jason leaned against the doorway in his tank top, eyes trailing downward. I fumbled with my pants, glaring, peeping Tom. He crossed his arms, amused. Relax. Saw everything last night when I bathed your drunk ass. I froze. That means he's seen my everything. Then, who's bigger between us? I sneak a glance at Jason only to get caught red-handed. No guy can resist comparing. Jason sees right through me, pointing decisively at himself. I've got the edge. My blood boils. After hastily rinsing my hands, I storm over and yank at his sweatpants. Bullshit. Real men compare in person. He doesn't resist. Just as my hand dips below his waistband, the door flies open. Roommates Damien and Kyle freeze in the doorway, breakfast bags slipping from their hands. Our bad. Damien stammers. Wait. I throw up my hands. But Damien slaps Kyle's back triumphantly. Told you, they were getting cozy. Been obvious since freshman orientation. Fine. I'll do your laundry next month. Kyle grumbles, eyeing Jason with disappointment. Ethan being bi, I get. But Jason, you too? Jason just smirks. I'm lost. What the hell are they talking about? I'm as straight as they come. There's no romance between me and Jason, only rivalry. It started freshman move-in day. I've been crawling under my desk for a dropped pen when polished dress shoes entered my vision. Our new roommate stood like some marble statue, looking down as if I were gutter trash. Back then I tried being friendly. Hey man, I'm Ethan. I grinned, dusting myself off. He just nodded coldly and walked out. That night I returned from Target to find him laughing with Damien and Kyle until I entered. His smile died as he stared moodily at the ceiling, jawline sharp enough to cut glass. Shelf. My features are just as good, strong jaw. Straight nose. Eyes that upperclassmen voted most attractive during orientation. Clearly jealous of my looks. This Miller prick wanted to alpha dog me. I stayed civil. Extra civil when begging favors. After brutal ROTC drills, I'd sprawl on my bunk whining. Jason, buddy, could you grab me some food? 2 sesame noodles, extra cilantro, no scallions on mine. Light spice, no garlic on yours. The dining hall hike sucked. But Jason would take Damien and Kyle's meal cards while ignoring mine. Carrying 5 containers ruins my balance. Get dressed and come. Bullshit. He just loved making me suffer. What's more embarrassing than a burly guy acting coy? Realizing your antics don't work on the target. Flushing crimson, I yanked my clothes on and stormed out with my meal card. The path to the cafeteria crossed the infamous Lover's Bridge, where couples nestled against twilight breezes over the shimmering lake. Only Ethan and I charged across like raging bulls hauling dinner. Wait, correction. The bull was just me. Jason trailed behind with leisurely grace, his dark hair ruffled by winds that made girls sneak glances, oblivious to admirers. His laser focus practically burned holes through my back. What are you staring at? I snapped. Jason grinned. Scenic spot. Wanna linger? 2 dudes loitering on Lover's Bridge? Insane. Linger my ass. The noodles are getting soggy. I glared at his overloaded hands. You're balancing 2 containers in one hand and 2 in the other now. Big Huang's order weighs more. Perfect counterbalance. Add my cold noodles. Wouldn't that still balance? Your 2 have different toppings. Throws off the ratio. Are you a human scale incarnate? I swear I'll bark if I speak to him again. Jason's been needling me deliberately, but questioning my masculinity crosses the line. After military training, our dorm quartet celebrated with a mall feast. While Big Huang and Xiao Yu dove into Uniqlo for hideous polo shirts, I split off to Sephora. Jason followed, freezing at the lipstick display before double-checking the store sign. Ethan, he hissed. You sure we're in the right place? Getting face masks. Sunburn's brutal. He stared at my sunscreen-caked complexion before eyeing his own tanned arms. Didn't know you were this meticulous. Basic skincare. I gestured at his athlete's tan. Want some? He recoiled. Hard pass. Suit yourself. I drifted to perfumes. Straight guys can enjoy fragrance too. Torn between two scents. I shoved test strips under his nose. Which smells better? Jason Miller's mouth twitched, but he carefully selected one. Amber sunlight. I hesitated, sniffing it again. This one's too sweet, isn't it? Jason murmured. Yeah, matches you. Why did that sound weird? Not overthinking it. I paid, headed out to find menswear. Strangely, Jason started lingering. Turning around, I caught him furtively placing a lip gloss tube on the counter. Holy shit, does this guy have a girlfriend? What kind of blind person would date this weirdo? He walked out with the lip gloss, meeting my teasing gaze and, oh, who's the lucky recipient? Human nature demands we all be nosy Parkers. I'd feast on Jason's drama. Suddenly, he stepped close, swiping the applicator across my lips. For you. The store window reflected my newly crimson mouth. Jason examined it approvingly. The clerk recommended this Armani tomato shade. Looks good with your fair skin. I froze, momentarily forgetting to punch him. What's your deal? He whispered conspiratorially like a spy. You use sheet masks. Wear perfume. Ethan, are you actually a girl in disguise? I grab his collar. Jason, you insane? Want a beating? Our faces were inches apart when roommates DeHuang and Xiaoyu emerged from storage, gaping. Ethan, didn't know you swung that way. Y'all doing kinky roleplay in public. I whirled around. A crowd of shoppers and clerks had gathered, pedestrians slowing to rubberneck. DeHuang pried my fingers loose. Buddy, even if Jason's hot, save the PDA for the dorm. Wait, I still need clothes. He glanced at my red lips. Say no more. Women's section's upstairs. We'll cover for you. Snickering erupted behind me. I shot a death glare at Jason's laughing eyes. My reputation lay in ruins because of this clown. Last year's cross-dresser rumors took 12 months to dispel. Now he's branding me a raging homosexual? How am I supposed to charm girls now? Time to ditch him. Pulling out my phone, I dialed. Back in the States? Need a problem removed. 2 days later, at an off-campus cafe, I crouched behind potted plants like a sneaky raccoon. At a nearby table sat a man and woman. The woman with voluminous curls pushed a bank card toward Jason. $5,000 to stay away from my Ethan. Jason looked torn between amusement and exasperation. Don't breakup fees usually start at $5 million? My cousin flipped her hair. He's not worth that much. My chest tightened. That was my entire year's savings, 20 pairs of Air Jordans gone. The silver-haired boy straightened with dignity. I never break up with Ethan. My feelings are genuine. Then he pocketed the card. Though he does spend recklessly, I'll safeguard this for him. What the hell? Now he's keeping my money? I scrambled from behind the foliage, lunging for his pockets. Jason, you greedy bastard. He caught my wrists with a husky grunt, pupils dilating. Easy, Tiger. Your cousin's watching. I'll let you explore later. My cousin snorted into her latte. With those designer clothes, shouldn't you be the one throwing black cards around? Where's the dramatic, I'll double your offer speech? The passionate French kiss? The sweeping exit? Could you read less cheesy romance novels? I groaned. Jason's arms slipped around my waist. Ethan's priceless. No amount could measure his worth. His breath warmed my ear. But the French kiss suggestion has merit. Care to demonstrate? His lavender scented collar made my cheeks burn. Stop embarrassing me. Let's go. As my cousin cackled, I dragged him outside. You're insufferable. He returned the card, fingertips lingering. Keep your Jordans. My feelings remain. I kissed the plastic like long-lost treasure. What feelings? Night breeze ruffled his bangs as he stepped closer. That I'm crazy about you. That I'd never let go. His thumb brushed my jaw. May I kiss you properly this time? When his lips met mine, 20 pairs of sneakers suddenly seemed unimportant. You, pervert. I'm straight. The autumn breeze swept past as I bolted in panic. For someone who usually passed out the moment my head hit the pillow, I found myself wide awake. The symphony of Ethan's snoring and Xiaoyu's teeth grinding filled the dorm, tossing and turning like a pancake on a griddle. I couldn't shake the image of Jason's face, those aloof eyes during our first encounter, that mischievous grin while applying lipstick on me, the earnest expression when he'd confessed hours earlier, and the way his lips had claimed mine with that intoxicating mix of dominance and tenderness when he kissed me drunk. I smashed a pillow over my flaming face. Why couldn't I forget? Though, objectively speaking, Jason did have perfect lips to find Cupid's bow. Neither too thin nor too full, naturally curved into that enticing shape. So soft, so kissable. I slapped myself hard across the cheek. Get a grip. Ethan, what are you doing? I turned to find those very M-shaped lips hovering by my bunk, their owner holding a glass of water. Jason stood tall enough to peer over the upper bed rail, forehead creased as he reached toward me. Running a fever. You're burning up. I swatted his hand away. I'm fine. Back off. He extended the glass. Made you jujube tea. For better sleep. My throat tightened with unexpected gratitude, but stubbornness won. I crossed my arms. Jason's lips quirked. What's the holdup? Need me to feed you the mouth? I snatched the drink and gulped it down. Chuckling, he readjusted my bed curtain. Sleep well. His breathing steadied soon after returning to his own bunk. The tea worked suspiciously well. I drifted into deep slumber and a wildly inappropriate dream featuring prominent-shaped lips. I jolted awake at dawn. That bastard must have drugged the tea. Jason found me sulking at my desk later. Breakfast ready, he said, pinching my cheek. Save you a seat, too. Nap more if you're tired. The whole campus knew his confession had started as a prank. Yet here he was, claiming the seat across from me at meals, sliding into the desk beside mine in lectures. The guy who'd nitpicked my every move now shadowed me like cling wrap. This sudden devotion reeked of schemes. I needed to ditch him before he struck. Since he'd refused my payoff, more direct measures were necessary. Jason religiously hiked the outskirts every month. I hired some jock buddies to intercept him on the return trail. No violence, just enough intimidation to force that breakup. That night, Jason returned to the dorm covered in injuries. It was way past light out. The room pitch black with both Big Huang and Xiaoyu already asleep. Jason staggered through the door and collapsed against me. His pained grunt sent unwelcome waves of agitation and concern surging through my chest. Did they actually hit you? When he couldn't respond, I guided him to a chair and flicked on the bedside lamp. Dust coated his disheveled form, clothes torn to reveal angry purple bruises. My jaw tightened as I peeled off his tank top, dabbing alcohol-soaked cotton across inflamed skin. He hissed through clenched teeth. Sorry, did that hurt? I blew gently on the abrasions before tossing bloodied swabs and rummaging through our first aid kit. This is way overkill. I specifically told them to scare you off. Not actually. Trailing off, I froze. Jason's intense gaze locked onto me in the dim light, his battered appearance doing nothing to diminish the raw magnetism radiating from him. Ethan. His voice roughened. Are you worried about me? I flinched. Don't flatter yourself. I'm the one who hired those guys. Remember. If anything, I'm disappointed they didn't hit you harder. His calloused fingers suddenly closed around my wrist. Before I could react, He yanked me sideways onto his lap. One arm banded around my waist as his other hand slid beneath my sleep shirt. Liar. His breath scorched my ear as fingertips brushed over my pounding heartbeat. Your body doesn't lie. Ethan, you feel this too. I squirmed uselessly. What's your game? Jason, you've hated me since day one. First the cold shoulder. Now this. You getting off on messing with me? Confusion flickered across his face before realization dawned. A low chuckle vibrated against me as he tugged my pajama waistband. Biggest misunderstanding ever. That first day, his thumb traced the strip of bare skin above my hip. You were crawling around picking stuff up like this. Ass in air. Back arch just so. I walked in and got an eyeful of your, he cleared his throat, enthusiastic housekeeping. Then you turned with that sunshine smile, and I nearly lost it right there. Heat flooded my face. You're actually a walking hormone. Only around you. Jason's gaze turned unexpectedly vulnerable. Never reacted like this to anyone before. Not until my traitorous pile skyrocketed. I practically launched myself across the room, shoving the first aid kit at him. Do the rest yourself. I'm hitting the sack. His burning stare followed me to bed, lingering until the darkness swallowed us whole. Minutes later, his husky murmur cut through the silence. Take your time. I'll wait for your answer. Ethan, good night. In the endless darkness, I heard the deafening drumbeat of my own pulse. Unprecedented exhilaration and panic intertwined. Electric currents skittering up my spine. A thick wave of dread crashed over me. Both Jason and our guys. How could guys like other guys? I refused to examine the emotions clawing at my chest, forcing rationality through the chaos. Sleepless. I fled the dorm at dawn with dark circles beneath my eyes. I ignored the breakfast Jason left and the seat he saved. The class beauty had just gone through a breakup. So I reignited my pursuit with theatrical fervor. Our classroom seats now anchored opposite ends of the room. Before lectures began, I'd feel Jason's gaze cutting through the sea of drowsing students. The class beauty nudged my arm with her pen. He's been staring at you all morning. She whispered. Looks downright miserable. I kept my head lowered, jaw clenched. After class, I lingered until the room emptied before slipping into the hallway. Jason leaned against the lockers, arms crossed. On impulse, I grabbed the class beauty's wrist through my sleeve. His eyes flicked downward. So this is your answer. I nodded, the motion sharp enough to hurt. Jason studied me for 3 heartbeats before walking away without another word. The silence afterward felt cavernous. To maintain appearances, I brought the class beauty coffee and saved her seats daily. She reluctantly agreed to be my human shield. Jason haunted the labs while I buried myself in library stacks, returning only at curfew. Mornings, I'd rush through showers before his dawn run ended. For 18 days, we didn't exchange a single syllable. 2 celestial bodies sharing an orbit, never meeting. When classes resumed after National Day, Jason's side of the dorm stood barren. The emptiness gnawed at my ribs. Why did this hollow victory taste like ash? Late nights, staring at water-stained ceiling tiles, I'd hallucinate someone sitting at my desk. A phantom voice would rumble through the dark. Ethan. Good night. So vivid I'd jerk awake expecting to see polished dress shoes by my bunk. Jason became a ghost story. Until New Year's Eve, when Big Huang and Little, you fell silent as I entered the dorm. What's the big secret? I tossed my keys down. Big Huang scratched his neck. Jason's performing that duet at the gala. You know, with his new boyfriend. Little you blurted. My muscles locked. Freshman orientation flashed through my mind. Jason rescuing me from stage fright with his guitar. Singing that damn love song. It's a miracle. Finding you in the crowd. His voice had poured over the auditorium like dark honey that night. All smoky vibrato and rough edges. Even then, I felt the dangerous pull. Now someone else would hear those private notes turn public spectacle. The realization left me swaying, gutted. All the girls in class gazed at Jason with stars in their eyes. Yet his attention never wavered from me. After finishing his song, he asked, "Ethan, did I sound good?" Grateful for him diffusing the awkward situation, I nodded vigorously. "Yeah, amazing." Jason's eyes crinkled, his thick lashes resembling delicate feathered fans. "Glad you liked it." Back then the words seemed innocuous, but now their lingering tenderness haunts me. Yet tonight, he'll serenade someone new. My complexion must have paled because my roommate Big Huang asked, "You okay, Ethan?" "Whatever he does isn't my business," I muttered, slurping noodles. Xiaoyu casually added salt to the wound. Jason's sharing that apartment with his new boyfriend, freshman who looks eerily similar to him. Guess that's what they call couples resemblance. When you take our class belle to the gala, I'll get you front row tickets. Get a good look. My lips trembled before I steadied my voice. Go yourself. I'm not interested. Xiaoyu shrugged. Can't. I'm working backstage. Snap some HD photos for me. Irritation prickled my skin. Since when are we gawking at gay couples like zoo animals? Swallowing his noodles, Xiaoyu met my gaze squarely. No one's mocking them. All love deserves respect. We're just curious. Ethan, you're the one struggling with this. My jaw clenched until Big Huang intervened. Chill, guys. If Ethan won't go, I'll take photos. Xiaoyu resumed eating. Never mind. Just hire someone staring at empty beds at 3 a.m. like a haunted Victorian widow. The familiar melody began as Jason's velvet voice filled the auditorium. He sang with identical passion, but the love at first sight verses now targeted someone else. From my front row seat, our eyes briefly met before he focused on the beaming boy, beside him, carbon copy dimples and all. Our class belle nearly crushed my arm with her bedazzled nails. OMG, he's gorgeous. How can someone be this hot and adorable? Cool it. I warned. They're taken. She sighed dramatically. First Jason. Now this. Am I some gay magnet? Baffled, I asked, when were you into Jason? Weren't we flirting? Please. She snorted. I kept staring because you're the only one who stayed porcelain-skinned after military training. Spill your sunscreen secrets. As I turned back to the stage, Jason's gaze briefly darkened upon me. The class bell nudged. He looked over here 3 times during our chat. Still cares? I watched Jason strum his guitar, smiling at his duet partner. Doubt it. He's upgraded. True. She conceded. New guys way hotter. Hotter. Yes. And infinitely better at hitting those high notes. The moment I opened my mouth, all that came out was a donkey's bray. I couldn't stay any longer. Pulling out my phone, I snapped a few random photos of the duo singing on stage before getting up to leave. The class beauty caught my sleeve. Ethan, do you regret it? She asked. Winter wind sliced through my collar as I stepped outside the auditorium. Snowflakes drifted down, and when I wiped my face, my fingers came away with icy wetness. Regret? I didn't know. I just hurt. Finals came and went. Days before winter break, our class gathered for the traditional farewell dinner. Running late for my part-time job off campus, I found the only empty seat beside Jason. He glanced up, politely pulling out the chair for me. When I hesitantly sat down, our proximity brought a whiff of sweetness to my nose. Tom Ford Soleil Blanc. Strange. Not Jason's usual scent. My gaze traveled to the faint scratches on his neck. Thunder cracked in my skull. Even with zero experience, every porn tutorial I'd ever watched made the implication clear. Cohabitation. Scratches. The math wasn't complicated. My grip tightened on the wine glass until the stem threatened to snap. Jason turned, calmly adjusting his sweater collar to cover the marks. I floated through the rest of dinner like a ghost, losing every round of truth or dare. I chose truth when my turn came again. Someone shouted, "Did you finally date the class beauty?" No. I forced a smile. Jason's eyes snapped to mine, but she changed to matching couple avatars. The guy persisted. The class beauty giggled. Oh, Ethan's such a sweetheart. Just not my type. The friend zone anvil crushed me. The guy awkwardly backpedaled. Plenty of fish. There's this freshman in our club who keeps asking about you. The air beside me turned glacial. I stole a glance at Jason's storm cloud expression. No need, I muttered. I think I might actually be gay. Silence swallowed the table. Shit, shouldn't have said that. Now they'd all think I'm some freak. I downed my drink, planning my escape. Before I could move, the same guy blurted, "We got some great juniors in the club, too. Want me to set something up?" Instead of judgment, the table erupted with startling enthusiasm. Within minutes, they were practically arranging a grinder lineup from their contacts. I drank myself into a stupor trying to shut them up. By dinner's end, my casual exit involved clinging to door frames for balance, while everyone else headed to karaoke. I staggered toward campus alone. Fresh snow nearly sent me sprawling until steady hands caught me. Jason stood behind me, one hand gripping my wrist, the other supporting my back. Through alcohol-hazed vision, his eyes held entire constellations. When I finally found my footing, I mumbled, "Thanks." His fingers stayed locked around mine. He undid the scarf with one hand and wrapped it around my neck. The chill instantly blocked as faint fragrance enveloped me. "I'll walk you home." I reminded him, "Your apartment's in the opposite direction from campus. This is too much trouble." Jason paused, releasing his grip. The sudden absence of warmth around my wrist made my heart plummet. Then his arm circled my waist, pulling my arm over his shoulders. "You're right," he said. "Campus is too far. You're too drunk to be alone. You're coming to my place." Through the alcohol haze, I remembered Xiaoyu mentioning he'd moved in with his new boyfriend. "This isn't appropriate," I protested. Jason looked genuinely puzzled. "Why not?" He paused mid-step. "Is this position uncomfortable? Should I carry you instead?" Before I could refuse, he'd already crouched in front of me. "Stop dawdling," he urged as snowflakes gathered in his hair. "The storm's getting worse." Clutching his broad shoulders, I buried my face against his neck. This stolen moment of closeness would have to last me forever. By the time we reached his apartment, sobriety had reclaimed me. The heated bathroom steamed my skin as I emerged wrapped in a towel. Jason guided me to his bedroom for blow-drying. Perched nervously on the edge of his bed, I breathed in the lingering sweetness of his space. "Do you sleep in separate rooms?" I ventured. The hairdryer paused. Naturally, my gaze caught on fresh scratches across his neck. "Doesn't that get inconvenient?" Jason's throat worked as if swallowing words. "Ethan," he said slowly, "why this sudden interest in my living arrangements?" I pressed my lips shut, setting down the dryer. He tilted my chin up with slender fingers. "You told everyone you're gay today." Dark eyes pinned me beneath their intensity. "Who put that idea in your head?" I stared up, throat tightening. What could I say? I'd been the one pushing him away, hurting him repeatedly. Now he'd rebuilt his life while I remained trapped in shadows. I had no right to disrupt his happiness. The prolonged silence extinguished the hopeful glimmer in his eyes. His hand fell away with bitter laughter. My mistake. I assumed. Never mind. Before my alcohol-slowed mind could parse his meaning, the bedroom door creaked open. A fluffy orange tabby strutted in, tail held high, and began sharpening its claws on Jason's jeans, adding fresh parallel scratches to those on his neck. My confusion must have shown. 5, 4, 3? Jason counted calmly as the cat worked. One. Knuckles rapped the doorframe. His boyfriend bounded in, clutching a video call, cheeks flushed with excitement. Babe, look how cute mister. Whiskers is being. He angled the screen toward the feline menace currently shredding Jason's thigh. Come see her sometime. Okay? With a long arm sweep, he scooped up the kitten and walked off. I stood frozen. Who was he calling sister? Jason said calmly, the prom queen. When did they start talking? Backstage at the New Year's show. She asked for his WeChat. I gasped. The prom queen dated someone else right under your nose. Jason face-bombed. He's my cousin. Can you see the family resemblance? I blinked. But Xiaoyu said it's called couple vibes. I told Xiaoyu to say that. My confusion deepened as Jason continued. Since you rejected me, I tried distancing myself. Buying your cologne. Playing love songs I wanted to sing to you. Pathetic attempts to pretend you're still here. His bitter laugh hung in the air. De Huang and Xiaoyu said you never really dated her. That you missed me sometimes. He swallowed hard. I had to test the waters with their help. My heart pounded. So you never stopped? Still completely yours. I blurted. I also don't. His finger pressed my lips, trembling. Ethan, if you reject me again, his broken whisper shattered me. Please don't. The raw vulnerability in his eyes shamed me. My cowardice had wounded this beautiful soul. Holy shit. I nipped his finger, murmuring, Jason. As he froze, I stood on tiptoes and embraced him fiercely. Not rejection. Our foreheads touched. I'm saying, I love you too. Thank you for waiting. For you, I'll be brave.